Alright, we know folks, your boy Marco's on Tuesday 5 numbers after the name, a little Wasteland Wednesday, a little Black Ops 2, a little Slums. No nuke this time, but this is a classic nonetheless, bro. Straight off the dome right here. So I talked yesterday about some of the negatives I saw or some of the negatives I thought about, not necessarily saw, in the Call of Duty World War II trailer. I want to talk today about the positives, man, because they far outweigh the negatives, man. For starters, although it got kind of repetitive and kind of tedious, the words visceral and boots on the ground throughout the whole process, it is boots on the ground, right? So that's already a huge step in the right direction for me. Tremendous step in the right direction for me. I've never cared for or liked any Halo-type jumping game. Any game with a boost has never been really my thing. I prefer to fight everybody on the same plane and with some limitations to it, and let the best man win. Playing that, you know, that's kind of how I always felt was the fairest way of doing it. By the way, one thing I don't miss, one thing I don't hope is in World War II, host migrations. You could keep them. There was no host migrations in World War II, even though they're actually, you know, that's kind of a true statement. There was no host migrations at World at War. The game just ended. So host migration is like a big progress at the time, and now you kind of have to sit through it with Black Ops 2. I'm like, what the hell is this? Because in all fairness, the connection on Black Ops 2 never was that great, and never will be that great. But damn, if it's a fun, good game, man. And that's why I like fun games kind of trump everything, man. As long as your game's fun, everything else the community could forgive you on. And that's kind of, you know, the Infinite Warfare part was that the game wasn't that fun. Anyway, though, World War II. Graphically, sound-wise, I mean, they've nailed it since Dead Space Sledgehammer games with the sound and stuff. I'm excited. So excited for that. Game looks really cool. Although yesterday I mentioned there's a negative. The fact that we're not going to the Pacific, we're not going anywhere. There's also a big positive of that. It's scope. It's size. It's you're limiting yourself to, hey, man, here's the operations we're tackling. We're going from D-Day all the way till maybe like that crossing of the Rhine or whatever, and everything in between is what we're really focused on. You know, I heard some talk about running into African-American units and seeing some racism displayed over there. That's kind of an interesting storyline. Also, female soldiers from the French Revolution. I think that part's been confirmed because you can play as the chicks in the multiplayer and whatnot. Dope. All that, very good. I hope we see that. A personal tale between two guys, you know, or 3 or 4 guys in a unit. All that part to me sound great, groovy, wonderful. On the multiplayer side, the only thing we really kind of got was that it's boots on the ground. We didn't really get much else. You know, the headquarters division I kind of talked about yesterday, that kind of is irrelevant. The fact that there's a game, they made it, you know, it was kind of, they called it War, and it sounded very similar to World at War's War, just on a greater scale, where they've talked about, you know, Axis versus Allies fighting for certain points. They at least made it sound like it's more of a conquest type thing from like Battlefield, where you're kind of taking over points and you're fighting in big battles, they said, or whatever. So maybe you will be playing D-Day. You know, maybe that's a mode where you could like play D-Day, and one of these guys could be like have spawn on the bunker side. You know, it'd be the Germans, and the other team could be. That would be interesting. I'd definitely like to play that. It would be my main mode, but I'll definitely like to hop on over there. You know, even if that's kind of like a take on Hardpoint to a certain extent, it'd be interesting. Or even like a Battlefront has it. You know, Star Wars Battlefront had it, where one of their main modes was pretty much like the Empire's going across the map, and you have to stop them from getting to point A and point B. You know, maybe that's kind of how that plays. So I'm curious to see how that plays. I don't think it'll be my primary mode, but I'm always interested when they add new modes in, what kind of relevancy they have and whether they stick or not. You know, that's one of the things that, you know, Kill Confirmed that I think I introduced in Modern Warfare 3. That baby stuck. And some games it works better than others. Black Ops 2 is still my preferred mode to go to, is Kill Confirmed. And even in, you know what, I even played a lot of Modern Warfare Remastered too. Even though without the score streak kind of thing, it doesn't really tie in that well. And Hardpoint. Hardpoint's another one that's kind of survived. That got introduced, I think, in Black Ops 2. Yeah, so you know it'd be interesting to see if a mode like War would stick around. The guns that they showed, you know, all your traditional weaponry from World War II, pretty dope. Awesome. Once again, acoustically, I was very impressed. You know, they even pointed out the classic sound of the M1 Ram reloading. God, that thing is a beauty, man. That thing is a beauty. And I'm really excited to see. You know, we're all like, as a community, most people are pretty enthusiastic about World War II. I'd say a good amount of us are. I'm cautiously optimistic is where I'm at, because I've been burned already the past couple of years by Call of Duty, so I'm not, you know, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm excited for it. I'm going to get it. But I like, for example, my stance right now is I'm going to buy it, but I'm not getting that season pass. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play it. Then I'll let you know if I want the season pass or not. That's kind of what I'm starting at. And, you know, I think it'll kind of come down to the beta, which did get confirmed, which is, I think, a good thing. I think eventually Call of Duty maybe should fade off the beta. idea, you know, once you kind of feel confident enough in your product. But say Treyarch comes out here with a Vietnam War or a Black Ops 4, but it takes place in the past or whatever, you know, we bring back Mason and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty cool, you know, to kind of get back to its roots as well. And maybe for that you won't need a beta, for example. You know, you're off a good success from World War II, and you can kind of canon it. Because there is such a thing as overexposure, and I'm a little bit nervous about that with a Call of Duty game like World War II, because there's only, I guess, so much you can kind of show, right? Like, it's interesting. There was a flamethrower shown. I don't know if you'll play with it in multiplayer or not. You know, sometimes some things only stay in single player. Maybe it'll be like a secondary or something like that. No details, obviously, and they said they'd get more of that at E3, but, you know, what the pick 10, because actually, I imagine they'll have to even explain some of that. E3, because they're not going to get up on Sony stage and start talking about score streaks and stuff like that. But the multiplayer beta will be available for people at E3, or multiplayer kind of test scenario for people at E3. So if you want to go out there, you go play yourself. Interesting to see what kind of feedback what kind of score streak. I'm very excited. Like, what are the score streaks going to be in this game? Like, will dogs be the top thing? Bombing runs? The Luftwaffe things come down and just like destroy stuff. That'd be tight, man. You could do like a Warhog, like kind of with a Luftwaffe thing, you know. Even had the same sound. I think about the Warhog, kind of had a similar sound to that. So it'll be interesting. Then the zombies, which they kind of described as like a co-op campaign, Nazi zombies thing. So I'm interested to see. I kind of do expect that there will be definitely a mode that is the traditional zombie survive as much as you can, but they almost made it seem like maybe that won't be the primary mode that they're going to push for, they're going to stress for. Maybe they'll go more of an extinction route where there actually is an ending, or maybe there'll be something where we could kind of all work together cumulatively to do something. It's interesting to see what they could play along with. I think they're really doing it in a Treyarch model where, you know, and, you know, Infinity War does this as well with Infinite Warfare, is serious campaign, grounded, focused. Multiplayer, we're kind of up in the air as to what that is. Some things sound serious, obviously. The setting, the weaponry, all that kind of stuff seems pretty grounded and pretty down to earth. And then you show me a thing like Headquarters, I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know how that fits in over here. Even though it did look kind of like you were at a barrack. I get it. I get what they showed you, but I don't know what the function necessarily of it will be. And I think the zombies will definitely be where they kind of flex their muscles and say, hey, man, all crazy shit you want to throw up here, go ahead and throw it, man. Like, it's whatever. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But coming out of the reveal trailer, I like the trailer. By the way, I wasn't still like awed by the trailer. I think it hit on some good notes, but it wasn't anything too spectacular. I did kind of get the points of being grim and being dark and being violent. You know, I thought there was a lot of blood over there. So I think this is going to be a Call of Duty I'm going to really enjoy sitting down, playing that campaign before I play the multiplayer. Turn the lights off, turn the sound up, and really like feel like I'm there, you know, putting the bass up, putting the stereo system on, the surround sound, the Dolby 5.0, the Dolby 7.1, the Dolby 16.7. I'm just throwing out numbers over there and feeling the house shake when the damn trees snap. All right, I'm excited about it. Your boy Marcos, deuces.